Welcome back, everybody. This is Sayfasi here for War number 3 in Season 27, 2 Loki versus the Syndicate. I'll be taking Path 7 in Section 1, really just a blade fight, and Path 9 in Section 2. This fight I'm going to be using Magneto. Typically I would use AA or Apocalypse on this particular fight, but I need Magneto for a fight later on, so just kind of put him on the team for handling this fight as well. Main goal in this fight, to avoid as many blocked hits as possible so you don't push him to his L2. You can see right off the bat, I push him to his L2. Fortunately, able to dex out of the last part of it safely so that I don't have back-to-back L2s to deal with. Got him back to L1. Do have to deal with back-to-back L1s there just to kind of keep this going. And what you'll see is I get smacked in the face 3 times. As you can tell if you've watched the first 2 videos, typical first fight, I just tend to get hit. And right now at this point, the fight's been going on 45 seconds. Typically I'm out of this fight by now with other champions, so not really worried about not finishing the fight in time. But at the same time, the longer I'm in fights, the more mistakes I'm going to make. So just really trying to get out of it. So I just kind of throw an L2 just to do some damage, knock his health down, trying to get out of this, at this point as fast as possible. So he's down to 15%, regenning up a little bit, not a whole lot, so not too concerned there. And, bait the L1, and here we go for a parry. Get it? We'll stop, we'll bait the L1 again. He regens up a little bit. And as you'll see multiple times in this war, I miss a parry. So there's 5 hits, down to 68% health. Really stupid mistakes. Shouldn't have taken any hits, but 5 hits, we're out of it. Full attack bonus. No big issues there. So we are going to move up now. We do have one of the mid minis. It is a long shot on Power Snack. What's the other node that's on there? There we go. Power Snack and Backup Recovery. So pretty easy, straightforward Magik fight. As you can see, I'm not heavily boosted. I am going to throw on a Power Start 1 just so I can get kind of into the L2 cycle with Magik. 250-ish thousand health on long shot, so it's going to be a longer fight. But I'm very comfortable using Magik. You'll see later on that comfort level may be misplaced, but really simple fight. I've got it, the first L2 off. At this point, the fight should be firmly in my control, and it's just going to be a matter of throwing an L2. I don't do stand-up intercepts in war. I just find they're too risky. But I will do a lot of backdraft intercepts in this fight, and I've got them in a good location and a good pattern to do this now. So as you can see, 4 hits, step back, 4 more, step back. Once you get to the L2, I'll throw the L2 off, step back, parry, repeat. That's all this fight is. Not in any danger from Power Snack or Backup Recovery. It is just a longer fight. You can see we're about a minute in, 75 hits. He's down to about 40%. I've actually, from the initial suicide damage I've taken, I've healed up some during this fight, which I like. You can see there, now I'm up to 97%. I don't think I finished the fight around 94, 95%, somewhere in that range. I take a blocked hit. So, to me, very comfortable, very safe, effective. Magik isn't a all-out power damage machine, but because of the heal block, not having to worry about baiting specials, not having to take too many blocked hits, she's very, very safe to use in war. Plus, in addition, you do have the limbo, which, if you do take a hit and that's active, you actually get to heal up. So, all in all, 140 hits, long shots down. Didn't take any hits that fight. Feeling pretty good at that point. So now we'll jump ahead to Section 2. we've got Path 9, which has Stunning Reflection and things like that. First fight up is a rank 3 Dragonman. Going to go in with Magik. Now the plan here is just to bait heavies, get off the L2, and do the same thing you saw me do with Longshot. Stand up, intercept L2, and keep going. Do throw on a Power Start 1 boost again, just so I can get his power under control very early on. So, start of this fight, everything works perfect, exactly like I want. We get the heavy, we bait it out, go in, we, for some reason, do a 5-hit combo. That was really the first thing there that, threw me off a little bit. Did get him to throw a special 1 pretty easy, didn't have to do much there. Now here, I stunned, and I panicked, and I just stood there. So, of course, I took the heavy hits, and then I took 5 more from a 5-hit combo. So, welcome to war. Still okay. No big issues there. Now I'm in a dangerous spot. I'm back against the wall, and I cannot evade his heavy. Fortunately, don't take any more hits from him being unstoppable. Take a couple into the block. Notice my health going down a lot lower than I like it being. So I figured, okay, let me just go ahead and intercept, which we did. So now we're back. We're feeling comfortable. We're feeling confident again. Okay. And then I just stand there and take yet another heavy to the face. This is not going well. I am totally panicked at this point. We're a minute in. I'm down to 19% health. He's at 25%. Fortunately, I finally get the win there, and I parry again. And I stood there thinking, oh, it's going to reflect. Fortunately, the stunning reflection was down, and I was able to get out of that. That should have been a death with the number of hits I took, and the fact that I did parry stun Dragonman twice and got very lucky that both times the timer was down on it. So at this point, thinking, okay, made it through. This is another fight I'm pretty comfortable with. Going to go in with Captain America here, just so I can bait his heavy and counter it, and not have to worry about him going unblockable during the heavy, or unstoppable. Sorry. So just baiting, waiting till I get that first kinetic charge. Now I've got one. Now I can feel comfortable going in and hitting him. I throw the L1 here mostly just to gain some space. I want to keep it as far on the other side of the map as possible. On the right side, I've not had a great war going into it with the 16 hits already in, really 3 fights. Just want to get through this as clean as I can. I am going to take a fair amount of chip damage, even with, glancing hits and things like that. The global does benefit Magneto in this, so, he does, get the buff a couple times, which just means he's doing a little bit more damage through my blocks. And there you go. He's got the altitude buff, so he's got True Strike. Do get him to bait the L1. And now you'll see here, I take some extra damage, around 737 it looked like, through the block when not glanced. So, it does add up a little bit. Not too concerned about it. Do have the fight on the right half of the map, so I'm comfortable if I have to bait a special for a while, because Magneto is one of those that doesn't like to throw his L1. He likes going to that L2. So, do bait the L1 just to dump the energy. Typically I wouldn't do this, but the way this war's gone, throw the L3 just to keep it over on the right side, build up the kinetic charges again, and just go to town. So, we have him almost to 2 bars of power. I hate pushing him to his L2. And fortunately right there, once again, I parry stunned when Stunning Reflection was up, but because of my kinetic charges, it didn't stun me back. So another very fortunate area in this war that I should be dead. So realistically, I'm through 4 fights, haven't died yet, should have died at least twice. Good thing this war ended up being very close. At this point in time, BG2, my BG, is still deathless. Now we've got Nick Fury at the end of the path, and I am not feeling good. I've been hit way too many times. This is a tricky fight. I'm going to try to heal block him with Magik to get the, almost instant death after the decoy dies and, the real Nick Fury comes out. So, goal in this fight, once again, keep the parry hits to a minimum, push him to his L2s whenever possible, bait out the L2, counter it, and just keep going until you get him down close to death. Fortunately for the first 3/4 of this fight, everything goes perfect. You know, he plays right into it. I don't have to avoid too many L1s. You know, this node did change a little bit in the off season. You know, you saw him go indestructible there. That is part of the new node. You know, when you hit 2 bars of power, he goes indestructible. But since I'm saving for just really throwing one special 3, I don't have to worry about it again this fight. Just slows the fight down a little bit. Prevents champions like Magik from being used on a node effectively. And things like that. So there we go. We had one L1 there. As you can see, I was able to dex out a part of it, so he didn't get up to his 3 bars of power, which is good. So we're still working. We're still right on track. This fight is going pretty perfect. And there we go. 7 quick hits to the face. Fortunately, the L1 doesn't do a lot of damage. It does put the disorient on there, so I can't parry stun. But really hoping I don't have to worry about it. He hits into my block, able to get him to his L2, bait the L2 out. Can do a 4-hit combo here, back away, parry, 5-hit combo, and hope and pray, and yes, he just drops down to 1%. I hit it perfect. You'll notice on there he doesn't gain any health. He'll come back. He'll be sitting at 1%. So I was, really just a fraction of a second earlier. I would have to bleed on him and wouldn't have to do that extra hit into the block. But all in all, for that fight, I'm very pleased. Worked out exactly like I had hoped it would. And, 7 more hits. Didn't do a lot of damage. Don't have to worry about healing him up because I don't need Magneto the rest of the way. And we're going to move on to a mini boss Sorcerer Supreme fight. I'm feeling, good about this fight. I've taken this fight many, many wars. You'll notice I don't do big buffs on Magik. I am going to start with another Power Start 1. But this is a fight that I'm comfortable with. I've taken it. Once you get that first L2, you don't have to worry about any of the nodes. You don't have to worry about the power gain. You don't have to worry about the unblockable L2. You don't have to worry about aspect of evolution. It's a simple fight from there. It is parry, 5-hit, parry, 5-hit. So here we go. Start of the fight, everything's perfect. No issues at all. We got her to the first L2, got her power locked down, have her in the corner, and can't ask for more. Miss a parry there, not a big deal, still in good shape. Backdraft intercept there, gonna do it a couple times. And here we go, we'll get another L2 off. Now we're gonna step back and missed a parry. 4 hits, dead. First death of the season, first death of the war for BG2 with only this fight and the boss left. Feels bad. I paused here on this screen because I am online telling the team what happened. I'm pissed off at myself and I say screw it instead of waiting for somebody else. I'm mad enough I'm going to revive. I'm going to drop a bunch of units to get 3 heals in there. I'm going to heal back up and go in because I cannot believe I died to that stupid fight that I have taken so many times before. So here we go. We heal up. You can see the hit counter for the war is up to 27. Little sneak preview. It doesn't stay at 27. So here we go. We go back in. Same plan. Power start 1. Get to that L2. Lock her down. Keep her in the corner. And right off the bat, I'm struggling to get in a parry. Finally get one in there after taking a bunch of blocked hits. Fortunately, doesn't do much. Get the L2 off and boom. Okay, she's locked down. Still has her L1 up. Not too worried about it. Next, one of my special 2s, I'll take care of that. So here we go. Get the special 2. Boom. No more power. Shouldn't be any issues from here on. And we try to do a backdraft intercept, and she intercepts me. Knocks me down to 2% health. And as mentioned earlier, if you get hit and limbos up, you get that heal. Thank goodness for that heal. I am still in rough shape. I am sweating at this point. I'm thinking, oh gosh, this is a fight that I asked for. This is a fight that I would take every single time. I'm comfortable with it. And all that's going through my head is, oh great, I'm going to die twice. And they'll be the only 2 deaths in RBG2, which should be a relatively easy fight. So I can't explain it any other way than that. So here I'm just trying to be super cautious, like, okay, hit every parry. Don't worry about backdraft intercepting. Don't worry about anything else. Get her to hit into you, parry, make sure they're good parries, make sure they take, and finally able to get through that fight. But wow, you know, I should have died another time on that fight for a total. I really should have died 4 times this war. Very, very fortunate that I didn't. Long run, RBG did finish with 2. We lost 1 more to the boss, but we are able to pull out this victory over the Syndicate. It was close, 19 to 12. So, you know, all in all, pretty pleased. 3-0 to start off the war season. Looking at our statistics overall, we have 16 kills, 1 death, and we are sitting at 3-0. So that wraps up this war. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.